A very good morning. You're watching News9 with me, Deepak Bopana. And first up, getting a boost from the Assembly by-poll election, CM Siddaramaiah has finally decided to expand the cabinet. And this decision will be made in the presence of the State Congress in charge Minister Digvijay Singh.
The General Secretary of Congress and the State Congress in charge Minister Digvijay Singh is in Bengaluru. Discussions on cabinet expansion will soon get underway at the KPCC office. Who will the Chief Minister favour and who will he discard? After an enormous win in the Assembly by-polls, it's a now or never situation for Siddaramaiah. The Chief Minister, who always avoided the topic of cabinet expansion, has finally come forward to address it. It is still unclear if the Chief Minister will take a decision to expand the cabinet or reconstruct it. This speculation comes in the wake of the Chief Minister's decision to drop some of the ministers from the cabinet. The names of ministers doing the rounds to be probably dropped from the cabinet are Housing Minister Ambarish, MLA Kimmane Ratnakar, MLA Kamarul Islam and MLA Shamanur Shivashankarappa. Those in the running to get a minister's berth are G. Parmeshwar as Deputy Chief Minister or a minister and Kagudu Timmappa. The Coordination Committee headed by Digvijay Singh and Siddaramaiah will see participation from other Congress ministers including D.K. Shivkumar, K.J. George, G. Parmeshwar and Shantaram Nayak. The committee, along with discussing cabinet expansion, will also address issues on Arkavati land denotification and the controversial KPSC recruitment. The committee will also discuss appointing chairmen and presidents for boards and corporations. 15 Congress candidates are in the fray for 4 vacant cabinet posts. Who will Siddaramaiah choose? Vinayak Gangoli, News9, Bengaluru.
Well, it was quite surprising. Speaker Kagudu Timmappa raised several eyebrows by questioning who is Digvijay Singh. He further added that he was not interested in the cabinet berth as well. So was it a dig at Digvijay? Did the speaker actually go on to take a dig at him, or was it just a normal question? This remains to be seen, though all of this was quite surprising as Kagudu Timmappa now going on to ask who is Digvijay Singh. He further said that he was not even interested in the cabinet berth. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Arun Sundaram. Well, Arun, what does this mean? The speaker going on to say, was it a dig at Digvijay Singh, or is he trying to mock him, or what is it, Arun?
Deepak, it's a case of sheer frustration on the part of a very senior Congress leader. Remember, there was widespread speculation last year around when the cabinet was to be formed under the stewardship of CM Siddaramaiah, that probably Kagudu Timmappa would be one of the ministers in the cabinet. There was also further speculation adding that probably he could become the deputy chief minister, but nothing of that sort came about, and the very fact was that he was accommodated at a rank equivalent to that of a cabinet minister by being made a speaker perhaps has not gone down too well with him. Remember, at this point of time, as we speak, while he has been quotes kind of settled or perhaps rehabilitated, there are a lot of others, people who have the same kind of pedigree, in the sense they have won significant number of times as MLA, like people like Malekaya Guttedar, who are openly canvassing and who are openly demanding that they be given cabinet berths when the cabinet expansion takes place. So that's left perhaps a bit of a tinge of bitterness as far as Kagudu Timmappa is concerned. He's a very senior Congress person, and that's perhaps the reason for his angst. And given the fact that today you will have a senior observer coming in from Delhi, that is Digvijay Singh, to discuss the issue of cabinet expansion, there is a lot of speculation in the air that probably new positions of deputy chief ministers could be created, etc. It is but natural that Kagudu Timmappa will feel a little bit frustrated. He will feel to be out of place, and that's perhaps the reason why that verbal outburst took place, Deepak.
Right, Arun, thank you for all that information. Well, that was my colleague going on to give us the reasons as to why Kagudu Timmappa behaved in such a manner. He went on to say that who is Digvijay Singh? Well, are you used to pressing the horn every time you're stuck in traffic? Are you tired of people who always do this in Bengaluru's busy roads? Well, the latest drive taken up by the concerned authorities will put an end to your woes, hopefully.
The IT capital of India is fast gaining the reputation of a noisy city. Yes, the potholed roads of Bengaluru see heavy vehicular movement every single day, which is accompanied with loud honking. In an effort to curb noise pollution, the city traffic police and RTO officials will be keeping an eye out for unnecessary honking.
ಹೈ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಅದೊಂಥರ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗೂ ನಾಯ್ಸ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತುಂಬ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೋಟರ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ರೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೆಸಿಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಹಾರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಿರೋಂಥ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಡೀಲರ್ಗಳ ಹತ್ರ, ಈ ಹಾರ್ನ್ ಮಾರೋ ಡೀಲರ್ಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶೋರೂಮ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು RC ಬುಕ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ನ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ಗೆ. ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
Following the numerous complaints against the disturbance caused by unnecessary honking on Bengaluru's busy roads, the High Court has taken the State Pollution Control Board to task. They have now sought the help of the regional transport authorities and Bengaluru police. The authorities have turned to the directives mentioned in the Motor Vehicle Act to curb the nuisance. According to the Transport Department, here are the decibel limits for different horns. For autos and two-wheelers, it's 80 decibels. For four-wheelers, it's 82 decibels. For buses, it's 85 decibels. And finally, for heavy transport vehicles, it's 91 decibels. The authorities have discovered that most of the vehicles they have seized were found to be fixed with modified horns, which exceed the decibel limit set forth by the Transport Department. They have now come forward to take strict action against the owners of such vehicles, and this includes levying exorbitant fines and might even lead to suspension of their RC.
From Bangalore Traffic Police, we are taking action on various types of honking devices like shrill horns, vacuum horns, multi-tone horns. We are booking cases on such vehicles, and we are also seizing such equipments. Plus, we are also recommending for the cancellation or suspension of these RC books of such vehicles which indulge in noise pollution. In addition to that, there are various places in Bangalore city which have been declared as no honking zones. In such zones, our officers are enforcing and booking cases if somebody honks in those places.
The Traffic Police and Transport Department, along with the Pollution Control Board, are attempting to create awareness on the drive undertaken to curb the nuisance of unnecessary honking. So if you have a modified horn or are used to honking when stuck in crawling traffic, beware. Anand Burli for News9.
If you're planning to buy a mobile SIM card soon, then you have to go through a different procedure. Take a look as to what the central government is planning to issue SIM cards henceforth.
If you don't have an Aadhaar card, then you will not get a mobile SIM card. Yes, within a month from now, the central government will make it a mandatory rule. The Aadhaar card that was issued by the UPA government was aimed at identification of Indian citizens to get benefits from government schemes. It was speculated that the Aadhaar card would not be given due consideration once the Modi government came to power. In contrast, the Modi Sarkar is now behind it wholeheartedly. The Director General of FICCI has appreciated the government's effort to bring the Aadhaar card back.
No, you see, the whole effort is that identification of the beneficiaries under subsidy schemes. So this will have a unique number attached to each individual. So when you go for banking account, whether you go for say subsidy, direct subsidy on say LPG or anything on the pension, old age pension, government other schemes. This is a really good initiative. In fact, I must congratulate the government that they treated the unique Aadhaar number not on political line. They didn't take it that it is the initiative of the previous government. They recognized the merit of it and they continued with, and they further want to improve upon it. So I think this is a right initiative, and government is moving in the right direction. We really appreciate the thinking of the government.
The task of getting Aadhaar back has begun with the mobile SIM card. The central government has already sent a report on the same to the Telecom Commission. Once it is passed, it will be mandatory to have an Aadhaar card to get a mobile SIM card. This is being done for security reasons to avoid the misuse of SIM card usage. Not just for mobile SIM cards, the government is also planning to make the Aadhaar card necessary for other schemes too.
Well, the government is obviously going to look at every possible innovation and method of streamlining the process that the benefits reach the actual beneficiary. And for that, various options will be explored. Whatever works to the advantage of the people who deserve those benefits will be the one that the government will take.
Well, for those who don't have an Aadhaar card, it's about time you get one soon. A News9 report.